How much do you have to pay to get behind the wheel? We will use a comparison table just like this one. When you buy a new car, it's yours forever, and you can almost spend no money on your car whatsoever. Now, once again, leasing is the clear winner here. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ali, and on this channel, we explore everything from business, side hustles, entrepreneurship, and much more. So if you're new here, just make sure to subscribe so you can join us. So in today's video, we're tackling the good old dilemma. Should I buy a car or should I lease it? It's like deciding between chocolate or vanilla. Both are sweet, but one might just be a little bit sweeter for you. And to illustrate this and to help us make a better decision, we will use a comparison table just like this one. We will look at all the following parameters: ownership, upfront costs, monthly payments, maintenance, mileage, excess wear and tear, vehicle return, future value, customization, and long-term costs. So these are all the parameters that we really need to dig into to make a really good decision whether we should buy or lease a car, right? So we're going to be filling in all these parameters and highlighting which one is the best pick as we go. So first up, let's talk about ownership. When you buy a new car, it's yours forever, or at least until you decide to sell it or something, but you have full ownership. Full ownership comes with no restrictions on how long you should keep it. You can even name it, pamper it, or even just yell at it when it won't start. Buying means no goodbyes. You're not bound to any contract that tells you when your time with your car is up, right? It's like a long, fulfilling marriage to your car, basically. You work through the highs and lows because at the end of the day, you're in for the long haul. Leasing, well, it's more like a summer fling. I mean, it's fun while it lasts, but you know it's gonna end at some point. Think of it as a long-term rental. You get the joy of driving your new car every few years without the long-term commitment. I mean, it's perfect for those who crave the latest features and hate the hassle of costly repairs and maintenance. It's like having a top-tier subscription to the best cars on the market. You pay a monthly fee, and in return, you just get simplicity and the assurance of a predictable expense without any surprises. But the drawback is, of course, that the car is not yours, and you gotta return it at the end of the lease. So obviously, from an ownership standpoint, buying makes more sense here because the car is fully yours and you're able to do whatever you want with it later. All right, let's now look into the upfront costs of both buying and leasing. Think of this as the entry fee of the car ownership club. How much do you have to pay to get behind the wheel? So when you buy a car, you're looking at a more substantial upfront payment. This isn't just chump change. We're talking a down payment, which can be a hefty chunk of your car's total price, plus taxes and registration fees and insurance and any extras that you might just take with that. So you pay a lot now, but then you get to just relax and enjoy the ride. Now on the flip side, leasing, this is just more like renting a luxury condo. You're not paying to own it. You're just paying to live in this luxury, I mean, in this case, to drive it, but you're just paying to only enjoy the benefits. Now the upfront costs are more manageable. We're usually just talking about the first month's payment, a security deposit, and maybe a few fees like an acquisition fee or like a small down payment, if any. So the financial barrier to entry is definitely lower. Now, if we look at the upfront costs alone, leasing makes more sense here, right? Because look at this chart. It lays out a typical upfront cost for both, side by side. Notice how leasing often appears lighter on the budget, making it more enticing for those who prefer less initial strain on their budget. So next up are monthly payments. If upfront costs were like the appetizer, think of monthly payments as the main course for financing your car. So when you buy a car, the monthly payments are like the heavyweight champion. They pack a punch, right? You're paying off pretty much the entire cost of the car plus interest, and then sometimes that number can make your wallet weasel a little. Now on the flip side, leasing is like being on a financial diet, right? The monthly payments are usually much slimmer because you're only covering the car's depreciation while you drive it. But remember, with leasing, it's like renting an apartment. Sure, the rent is affordable, but at the end of the day, a lease is a lease, right? Like you've got to just hand over the keys at the end of the lease. So with nothing to show for all those payments except the memories that you just had while driving your car. So now from that standpoint alone, leasing is clearly the winner here because you have much lower payments, right? Now let's turn our attention into maintenance, which is basically like the healthcare of your car, right? So you know you need it, but sometimes the bill can give you a little headache. So when you buy that shiny new car, you're the proud parent. It's like fun and games while it's under warranty, but once that safety net's gone, you're the one footing the bills for every hiccup, sneeze, or coughs that your car does, right? So now for leasing, imagine having a car that's always under warranty. You're mostly covered all the time. If something goes wrong, you're just basically just handing it over to your dealership, everything, and basically just saying, please fix, thanks. Everything is taken care of by the dealership, and you can almost spend no money on your car whatsoever. Now, once again, leasing is the clear winner here because when it comes to maintenance, the dealership takes care of it. not you. Now, time to hit the gas on another major point, mileage, which is basically how far can you go before you're in too deep. Now, for all the car buyers out there, you're living the freewheel lifestyle, right? You're driving to your heart's content across the city, over the mountains, whatever, right? The world is your oyster and there's no pearl too far. Now, for leasers, your journey comes with a map and a set boundary. Most leases cap you at about 10,000 to 50,000 miles per year. And if you go over that, well, you'll be paying more than just compliments to your dealership. So you don't have that flexibility to drive as much as you want when leasing. So when looking at that alone, buying is obviously the better off solution here. Now, let's talk about wear and tear. It's like the aging process for cars. Some age gracefully while others, well, not so much. Now, if you buy your car, it's your to love and to wear down the axles. You want to take it off-roading? Go for it. The kids want to take the backseat into a juicy bar? Messy, but permissible, right? It's all fun and games until it's time to sell. And then every scratch and spill might just dip into your pocket. Leasing, on the other hand, is like renting a tuxedo. You've got to return it in tip-top shape for every little imperfection that's on it. So that means keeping it as pristine as you first got it. No rough housing allowed. So once again, buying is the way to go here, especially if you intend on keeping your car, right? Now let's talk about the end game, which is vehicle return, right? This is where leasing and buying really part ways, which is basically choosing between a season finale and the cliffhanger of a show, right? When you lease a car, saying goodbye is as easy as returning a library book, right? Except that it's just a very expensive one. But you just hand over the keys, walk away, and call it a ride. Unless, of course, you've gone a bit wild with the mileage or something. But, you know, buyers, on the other hand, face the financial curtain when they decide it's time. They can sell it, trade it, or even just park it in the garage, right? In the end, you get to keep your car since it is yours. While it may be depreciating over time, the residual value is yours to use towards your next car. So when it comes to what to do with your vehicle on the long run, buying is definitely the way to go here. One of the most important points on this table is future value. So what will your car be worth after all these miles and memories, right? When you buy a car, you're signing up for a long-term relationship. Sure, it'll age, but it's just like the rest of us, right? With a few more wrinkles or just, you know, some more wisdom. But here's the kicker. You get the benefit from its residual value. Whether that's just trading it for the newest model or just like selling it to whoever wants it, it's got some sort of value, right? Leasing, think of it as renting your favorite movie. You enjoy the show while it's playing, but once it's over, it's over. So there's no like dusty DVD to put on your shelf and no resale value to bank on. You've paid for the premiere, enjoyed the experience, and now it's time for the next blockbuster. So once again, for future value, you definitely want to buy it. Let's talk about customization. It's like deciding between getting a tattoo or a temporary sticker, right? Both make a statement, but one is a bit more, shall we say, permanent, right? When you buy a car, it's your canvas. You paint it, you tweak it, you jack it up, your ride, your rules. You want to turn your sedan into a safari-ready beast or add those flashy neon lights? Go wild. It's yours to personalize, right? Now, leasing, no alterations allowed. You got to keep it as is, pristine and untouched, because you'll need to return it the same way you got it. No room to play or do what you want with it. You basically just can't touch it, right? So if you look at this, buying is obviously, once again, the way to go here. Now, let's look into the final point in this analysis, long-term costs. When you buy a car, you're making an investment. And like any other, it could either turn out good or bad, right? Initially, you might feel the heat from those high monthly payments. But once you make that last payment, the heat's off. No more monthly bills or the occasional maintenance or the insurance costs, right? Now, on the flip side, leasing might seem cheaper in the short run, like ordering takeout instead of buying all the ingredients to cook, right? But if you keep ordering takeout meal after meal, year after year, you'll see how it adds up. Leasing never really stops biting into your budget because you're always in the cycle of monthly payments with each new lease agreement. So honestly, not the best model if you ask me. So finally, buying is, again, the way to go here. Now, looking at this table, it's pretty clear that if you're someone who's on a low budget and don't want to spend too much on maintenance and monthly fees and all that, then leasing is your best option. But if you feel like you're doing pretty good financially to cover up all these costs for your car for the long run, then buying is 100% your best option. So what's it going to be for you, right? The freedom of just long-term benefits of buying or the low cost and convenience of leasing? And once again, guys, if you found this video helpful, check this one up here, which talks about the 10 highest paying trade jobs this year that you may have missed out. But until next time, take care, everyone, and I'll see you soon.